Um, so this morning we talk about three things, just like we discussed the last time. We will talk about trigger, we will talk about views, and we will talk about stored procedure. So let's start with views. When we talk about views, we talk about how you present data to the users from your database. So you know that when you write your SQL statement, what you write there is select the columns from table where data equals to column. So in that wise, you are only selecting from one table. And that means with that kind of statement, you can only select data from one table. So what of when you have many tables? Maybe you have a table for customers, you have a table for sales, you have a table for products, you have a table for cash flow. And this is the end of the month and you want to present a report to your boss. If you write select statement, you are selecting from one table. But you want to bring all the tables into one view so that he can see it for the purpose of decision making. In that case, what you do is to use view. So view can allow you to present data from different tables into one window. So that window is what we call view. So you write your code. One good thing about view is that view is disconnected from your database. It gives you the current status of the table. Or would I say is a disadvantage? Anyway, judge by yourself. What I mean is that if you create view by 12 p.m., any information that enter into that table by 1 minute after 12 will not be part of the view. So view is like a snapshot. It will take the current status and present. It doesn't update naturally or automatically. It gives the current status. All the information coming into the database later will not be displayed in the view. But if you create it as a dynamic view, that means the view will remain as it is until someone click on view. So if someone click on that view, it will show the person the instant or the current value. If the person come in the next 2 hours and click, it will show the person the current value as at that 2 hours later. If you click the next day, it will show you the current value as at that next day. But if you create a static view today by 8 o'clock, even if you come next year to view the data, when you click on view, it will show you the data of that 8 o'clock today. So you have a choice of creating your view as static. You also have a choice of creating your view as dynamic. All these things depends on what you are doing. If you want people to see your record as it is at any time they want to see it, then you use dynamic. But if you want them to see your data as it is as of today, maybe it is evidential, you want to keep it as evidence that this is what is on ground as at so date, it cannot change. Even when more information is entering the database or the database is deleted, that view will still remain because it's a snapshot. It's like a picture you have taken. If I snap picture now with this cloth I'm wearing, in the next 2 years, if you look at my if you refer to this picture, it is still that clothes I was wearing last 2 years that you see. But if I just leave my camera on, so that anytime you want to see me, you just press snap. It will snap as I am as at that moment. So those are the two different views that you can create. But just know that view can allow you to present your data from different tables. And it can give you a static view of how things are and it remains constant, or a dynamic view that shows how things are at any time that you want to see it. So that's what view is. The code to create view is simple. You just say create view, you call it a name, you call the tables, call the columns, and then it will display it for you. The next class we have is triggers. So these triggers, they cause events to happen. What triggers does is that when one thing happens, it can trigger other things to happen. That is why they call it trigger. For example, you want, if someone, let's say you're writing a code now, if someone comes into the parlor, let the light on, let the AC on, then let the light switch over from solar to gen. So you see, one action has triggered 3 more actions. So that's what the trigger does. Anytime they submit data to your database, the trigger will cause more actions to take place, especially on updates. That is the SQL statements now. One statement can trigger other statements. So you write many statements and keep them. When the one you set as your trigger, when that one happens, other things will happen alongside it. For example, if you write insert statement as the trigger, then you can write update, you can write even select at the same time. So what happens is, maybe when someone submits new information, you want to retrieve that information, update the table, then display all the information in the table, including that new one at the same time. That is what trigger can do. So you write many statements, and one of them is set as trigger. Once that trigger statement happens, other statements you have written will happen. Remember that we have 4 SQL statements: insert, select, stop now. This guy. What's wrong with you? Why did you leave? I was standing for that guy. Okay, so we are back. All right, so what I'm saying about trigger is that when you wrote your code, you can use as many statements as you like, but one of them will serve as trigger. Once that one happens, other statements will begin to execute. Trigger is used for so many things. You can use it for checking. You can use it for displaying your current record. You can even use it for deleting, depending on what happens. Like, if you have 20 items in your shop, maybe you're writing an inventory code. You want, when a buyer buys one from your shop, you want a delete code to go and delete that item from the store, so that you know that that item is no longer there. So it's trigger, so that once there is an insert new sales, your code will go to delete that item from the store table. There are many applications for trigger, so you can read it up and see more examples. And when we do the practice, you will see some examples and applications of trigger. The next one is stored procedure. If you are writing a code and you want to use stored procedure,